everybody. It is August the 20th, and funny story, I was doing my, my Bible time tonight, trying to find God, and I came across a verse that I think totally works with where I see so many people and myself to some extent uh, today. But the funny thing is, when I was just getting ready to, get up my Bible verse here and, get ready, I was like, Matthew? Wait a minute, I'm not in Matthew. I'm in Ephesians. So I had totally forgotten to put my scripture back to Ephesians where I've been doing from something else. So I was like, but then I thought, well, you know what? This is kind of what I needed to hear today. And so God knows what he's doing. So let me share with you. Well, before I do this, let me just say I'm a teacher. I work with a bunch of teachers, and we're going to have students on Monday. Now, our district announced that we're doing all online, like right before we came back. So we really haven't had all that much time to work with this new medium. Now, you're like, but wait a minute, didn't you do all that online learning at, in the spring? Yeah, but that was a totally different thing because didn't really count. Kids' grades couldn't go down. And this is like the real deal. And so a lot of nice districts are pushing back the district start date by like 3 days, which would be heaven because for one thing, we're learning in a totally different way. Where our schedule looks totally different. I feel like a first year teacher, and like I've been at my building for 20 years now, and it's very stressful and it's causing a lot of people some high anxiety. And because on top of learning a new way to teach and getting the resources where we need to digitally, not every teacher is way, way, way computer savvy. And so it's a lot of stress and a lot of anxiety. And then they ask you to do all kinds of little silly stuff too. It's like, well, make sure you make a video that says hello and put it here. And then you got to make sure you do a welcome and you got to put it here. And then you got to make sure you get all these links and link so they can go here. And you got to do all of this busy work while you're still trying to figure out your uh, curriculum. Now, I'm not complaining. I'm a little stressed, but I pretty much got it under control. But a lot of people are wigging out, and that's where this kind of comes in. I'm in Matthew 6, 25 for sure. I might look at 26. We'll see. But it says, therefore I tell you, do not be anxious about your life. That's what caught me. Because my goodness, I've noticed over the years, more and more kids are coming to us so filled with anxiety. And of course, the beginning of this year, people's little anxiety meters are going off of the radar. So what you will eat or what you will drink, not about your body, nor about your body, what you will put on is not life more than food and body and clothing. Look at the bird, and that's where the 20s, that's the one that I kind of stop. But if the 26 is look at the birds in the air, they don't worry about what they reap or sow, and you get the pretty in the field. They're gorgeous, and they don't worry about what they're dressed in and so forth. But it's hard. It's hard to trust. Now, some might say, well, that you got to get these things done. Well, you do, but you do what you can do and hope that things fall. All the people that are so anxious, they're such good teachers. They're seasoned teachers. Really, if they get on and just teach, it'll be fine. But there's all these expectations and so forth. So, besides hoping this for my teacher friends, don't be anxious. God's got you covered. I just, if you're out there, say a prayer for them because they need a little more love than usual. This is such a hard year for them. And, some of my friends who are just right on the edge of retirement, and then this gets thrown at them, and it's like, oh, but hopefully they'll see that when we come through this, maybe some amazing things have happened, or maybe they'll see that God has carried them through it all and learn a good lesson through that. So there's a lot of things I have hopes for all my teacher friends, and my biggest hope right now is that they can take this message to heart. don't be anxious in anything. So that's where God has found me right now. It's a crazy, crazy, crazy time, but don't be anxious. And that's what I'm working on.